dong, the docking dock is dead.
This is not the kind of team to rush. Oh, wait. One just dropped hatch.
Recently, in a Discord for fans of Tim Rogers' action button video game reviews, one member took a massive poll of many individuals for the top 50 most definitive Goblin Bunker games. These games nominated are indicative and representative of the general styles and sensibilities of the Discord server as a whole, and are very much suggestions of very important games that people should play. And it should surprise nobody that the games I voted for mostly didn't make the list. In some form of personal vindication, I guess, I myself will review my games and spotlight them in my own way. So, let's get started. Doom Eternal is peak Doom. Taking the fast-paced, high-skill ceiling nature of the franchise and turning it up to a deliciously arcadey 11, Doom Eternal perfects the brutal difficulty and level designs introduced to us in Doom 2016. If you're not moving and assessing the next major target to hit, you are not playing Doom Eternal right. One thing I specifically wanted to highlight that sets this game apart from its predecessors is the weak point system, wherein you shoot an enemy in a part of its model that can be destroyed to limit its mobility and attack options. This is a fantastic option and addition that takes the threat assessment to the next level, and even lets you turn major threats into something much more manageable while you focus on the next most important monster. Doom Eternal is part Twitch shooter, part platformer, part action game, and part strategy game now. And the balance is tweaked so tightly on the higher difficulties that it's on the player to perform or die. Hope you're using a mouse on Nightmare, because you'll need it. The Resident Evil 2 remake is a masterclass on how to take a beloved game from your childhood and make it into something fresh and original, while still keeping its tone and themes intact. Gone are the fixed camera angles and the inability to move while shooting seen in past games. This takes the cues we love about Resident Evil 4 and also brings those points to the modern era. The first playthrough of Resident Evil 2 Remake is as tense and dripping with atmosphere as the original was through its total runtime, and subsequent playthroughs a speedrunner's paradise. The delicate balance between modern third-person action and horror is a thin tightrope act that the Resident Evil 2 Remake crosses with superb dexterity. And even a skilled runner can be just as surprised by a zombie as a newcomer if the proper attention is not paid to the environment. I would know because it happens to me. And of course, the crown jewel of it all is the relentless and almost claustrophobic chase section with Mr. X, which absolutely still puts me on edge every time I run through the game. If more classic and beloved PS1 era games were remade in this style and this same level of love and care, we would have some of the best games of all time, hands down. Prey 2017 might not have been what die-hard fans waiting for the bounty hunter and open world gameplay of the initial showing of Prey 2 would have been, but for what it's worth, it never had to be that. Arcane Studios are masters of the modern immersive sim, and for this futuristic foray into a world in which JFK's head just never did that, Arcane did a bang-up job of world building, immersion, and environmental storytelling. It's a truly open sandbox and has a high level of mechanical possibility and interacting functions not quite seen in other equivalent immersive sims, and that kept me coming back for more and more playthroughs. And as an addition, it has a roguelike DLC, which is basically all I could ever want as a standalone arcadey version of this game. Plus, it turned into a coffee mug. 10 out of 10. Would play again. I'm not exactly sure what more I could say about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild that publications haven't said already, but for its focus on interesting and emergent gameplay, interactive systems, and a world that offers a real sense of adventure, ensuring no two journeys go exactly the same way, I'm really not sure what more needs to be said. It's one of the most relaxing and positive exploration game experiences that I have ever had. And the bunker even agreed with me by putting it in their top 10. If for some reason you haven't made time to explore this era of Hyrule, I highly suggest picking up a Switch and doing so. It's helped change the way I think about how parts of a game's world should interact in no small way. And finally, rounding out my own list is, of course, Rainbow Six Siege. Who saw this one coming? Not even making it onto the honorable mentions list is a sad blow to my ego that I will still take on the chin. I chose Siege, even if it's not popular with this bunker at all, for its reliance on teamwork, map knowledge, communication, and personal growth ability and external experience, rather than giving you in-game experience and better gear and more health as you level up, as seen in other competitive shooters and RPGs and the like. It's all about you and your skill, and it's balanced in that way. Sure, there are some operators objectively better than others and have a higher pick rate, but it's just about how and where you place your gadgets and how well you communicate with your teams. It's a thinking man's shooter, played best with some good friends, and as we already know, I couldn't have survived 2020 without it, so it's high up on my own list. And so, in that way, does it really matter exactly what is on any best games list that any others put out? Absolutely not. It's all about your tastes and your journey that games help guide you through. Everybody should play Rainbow Six Siege, though. I'm making that one mandatory if you watch this. So now that I've gotten my personal list out of the way, I want to try something for the future. In the coming weeks, I want to do this short review series like I did here, but I want to highlight the nominated games on the bunker list and do a small write-up for them. If it takes me a while to play 50 of what can be considered to be some of the best games of all time suggested by friends, then I definitely think that's going to be some time well spent. See you on the other side, and I hope I have 30 hours plus to play Dragon Quest XI. Oh god.